Welcome to MBA Mental Boost. This is your coach, Dr Rosie, and today I'm talking about a really common issue. It's so common that I can't believe I haven't spoken about it on the podcast before. But we're going to talk about missing free throws. So this is something that I see time and time again with clients, and it's also probably the number one reason why people will reach out to me and ask for some advice. I'm sure that you can relate to this. So all of a sudden you feel like you're off your free throw game. You just can't make the ball go in. You start to get into this kind of story and this cycle that, every time I make the shot, for some reason, something's going wrong. It's not going in. I'm not good at making free throws. Then what happens is you start to freeze up or you rush them, and you're definitely not going to be making them. And therefore, it starts to become a self-fulfilling prophecy, telling yourself, I can't make free throws, I'm off my free throw game. Then it keeps happening. So you're giving your brain evidence that for some reason, it just can't do it. And this is a pattern that I've worked through many clients with. Now, the great thing is we can really easily unstick this. With one client, he had 1-2 games where he was really kind of frustrated. He wasn't making the shots. And within one session, we'd very quickly unpicked it, noticed that it was a mental thought error, which this often is. And that next game, he was like, I had no problem. It was all good. So what it comes down to is this isn't a physical skill issue. The level that you're at, it's not suddenly a physical error. It comes down to mental performance and mindset, and there is a mental block that for whatever reason has come in. Often it's to do with finding it difficult to perform under pressure, feeling that internal pressure. And then if you're not making those free throws, then the more pressure that builds up each game, each time you go to the free throw line, you tense up, you rush, therefore you're more likely to make mistakes, and that error just keeps continuing. But because it's a mental blocker, it means that we can really easily work through it. So you've got the story that's repeating, that self-fulfilling prophecy, like I said. What we then need to do is become a pattern interrupter. So you interrupt that cycle. We don't want to keep going down that story of, I can't make free throws. Every time I do, I rush them, then I miss them. And this is happening every single game. Nope, we get to decide that this isn't the story that we're going to be using. This isn't the route we're going to be going down. So you want to reframe the thought. Telling yourself that you can't make free throws, that's not actually going to help you to make them. You want to be giving your brain evidence of the opposite. The fact that you can make them. You can make them all day long. You make them in practice. You've made them in many games before. You've been doing this for years. I want you to tell yourself that this is no big deal. Free throws are no big deal. Even just saying that, I'm like, it feels good. You're releasing that pressure. It doesn't matter if you're in practice or in a packed arena on game day. The occasion is irrelevant. So you need to tell yourself that. Remind yourself this isn't a physical issue, it's a mental issue. So thinking along those lines, I like to give you practical tips. So here are some kind of techniques that you can go away and use to release your free throw pressure and to start improving your free throw percentages. So first of all, don't hide from this. If you notice that you're starting to miss more shots than you have done before, and maybe you're creating this story in your mind, face this head on. Notice these thoughts, notice that feeling, notice how you're showing up, and notice what the result is of everything that's kind of leading up to that. First of all, face it. Then you can look at doing something about it. So visualization, visualizing yourself stepping up to the free throw line, doing what your normal kind of routine is. Think about slowing things down. Think about really focusing on the net. Nothing else matters. Remove those distractions. Ignore the noise that's around you. And see yourself taking that shot. See it going in. But I also want you to let yourself see missing a shot and being like, no big deal. We go again. So you remind your brain, sometimes I'll make shots, sometimes I'll miss them, and it's fine. I focus on the next play. Watch film, give your brain that evidence that we can do this. We have done this many, many times before. This is the evidence that this is totally possible. Like, we've got it. It's not a physical skill error. Breath work. Think about anchoring, like using your breath as that anchor to focus on the present moment. As you go up to the free throw line, slow stuff down. You've got time. It's no big deal. Slow it down. Take that deep breath and use that to just center yourself and get you into the present. See this as an opportunity. Turn that feeling of pressure into a catalyst to fuel what you know that you can do day in, day out. Pressure in itself isn't a bad thing. It depends on your perception of it. So if you're going to use it as something that's destructive, then yeah, you're going to rush that free throw. You're not going to make it. You're going to create this story that you can't make them anymore. And that's going to, totally impact your whole game. But you can feel it, acknowledge the pressure, and use it as that catalyst for high performance. Focus on playing present. Like I said, if you miss, it's no big deal. There's nothing you can do now, so you've got to turn your attention to the next play. Likewise, if you take the shot and you make the shot, don't go too high. It's all about coming back to the present moment and just focusing on playing present. Don't go too high, don't go too low. At this level, chances are that suddenly missing free throws, like I said, it's not a physical skill error. It's a thought error. So I want you to be getting the reps in for your mental resilience, your focus, and your ability to thrive under pressure. Do you want to know how I can help? You know where to find me. I'd love to talk more about this with you. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of NBA Mental Boost, the secret weapon to supercharging your performance on the court. If you found today's episode useful, don't forget to subscribe and share. You can connect with me over on any social platform. You can find me at Dr Rosie Mead. Until next time, go out there and dominate using the power of your mind. This is Dr Rosie, signing off.